Pow. Holy crap. You got here before I did. Okay, something weird is going on. I don't know. Hmm. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. Thought the stream was taking a poop for a second. Yeah, I think today I'm just going to do a bunch of meme builds. I don't really feel like taking the game seriously today. When did I complete that? Okay. I'll take it! There we go. How is it going? I actually have some stuff I want to talk about, but I'm hoping more people will hop in. Okay. There we go. I was wondering why you guys couldn't hear anything. I had my headphones muted. Hmm. We got the lore accurate Freddy build here. uh, it might be a good thing if I just do a bunch of meme builds. Might help lower my MMR so I don't go against sweaties. Oh, that's funny. It's a really funny idea. You see in the thumbnail there of the video had Ghostface and Jason Voorhees. Well, I actually downloaded Fortnite again just to see what was going on there, and somehow they managed to get a Jason Voorhees license deal, and they're actually going to be selling a Jason Voorhees skin in Fortnite on the 17th of October. And I find that to be crazy because the license holders for him, I mean, there's a reason we haven't gotten a Friday the 13th film in what? When was the last time the Friday the 13th film came out? Let's check. Yeah, almost a decade ago, all the way back in 2009. That's crazy if you ask me. But Jason Voorhees, if you didn't know, he was my favorite horror movie slasher. So much so, when I was a preteen, I literally dressed up as him for Halloween, I think, I don't know, maybe 5 times in a row. That was my weird phase. But I got to thinking, the license chapter that we got we got the elementary school with the predator build. Let's go, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. But I got to thinking, I'm like, if if DBD has a license coming out soon, licensed killer and 2 survivors, if Fortnite managed to get Friday the 13th, who's to say the next one couldn't be that? Huh? Hey, Bean, what's up? I'm running lore accurate Freddy Krueger. I don't know if you guys were here when I was talking about it, so I'll talk about it again. But if you looked in the thumbnail of my live stream, thumbnail, you'll see Jason Voorhees on there along with Ghostface. Well, I actually downloaded Fortnite to see what was going on there, and Jason Voorhees, you're gonna actually be able to buy him on the 17th of October, which got me thinking. The DBD devs, they actually postponed a licensed killer and 2 survivors, so I'm thinking maybe they could be working on something here. But then I also got to thinking, I don't even know if I'd buy it. Like, don't get me wrong, Jason Voorhees is my favorite horror movie slasher of all time, but I'm not gonna support behavior with the current state DBD is in. It's just not happening. No way, Jose. You know, I'm not gonna lie, lore accurate Freddy kinda sucks. Nothing? Okay. Did I just... I think I'm going crazy. Man, you got a big booty. Big booty Judy. There we go. This is a very weird game. I knew you'd be here. Oh, come on. Really? You're gonna disrespect the Predator like that? His snare is so useless. Ugh. Interesting. Man, I'm getting styled on. Yeah, I've gotten to a point where I'm just gonna... Yeah. Enough said, really. Enough said. Yeah. Oh no, boil over. Yep, that's pretty much GG's. Holy crap. Am I? I'm losing my mind, man. Whoa! This window, man. I think I'm gonna make a video where I just play a normal DBD match and then just over the span of the match count every single pallet I break. That sounds fun. Come on. Weird, weird. Oh. Nada. Predator has lost. Nah. Hey, at least they were good sports about it. That's probably the first game I've had of DBD in, well, ever. I've had games where people will literally, even when they go against a meme build, cry about it. It's crazy. Hmm. Let's see here. You know what? I have yet to make a single build using coup de grace. I wonder what would be good. What would be good for that? Delicious. Holy crap, why do I have so few perks with him leveled? Each time a generator is completed, it grows in power. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. What to use? Hubris? That might actually be interesting. See, the problem is every time I run a pallet predator build, I almost never get any value out of hubris. None. Reveals the aura of survivors in the dream world when they are further than 32 meters away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. DBD is in such a bad state right now. I can't take this game seriously. If I do, I have a bad day. Hey, that's fine, man. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. My friend, you are a real one. What do I even need to do? Play as a killer. Okay. You know what? There we go. No gen rushing. You know what? Before I forget, sometimes YouTube likes to filter out certain messages, especially if they have swear words in them. I don't know why, but sometimes if you guys chat with like the F word or whatever in it, I just straight up can't see it. I don't know why. It's weird. I came up with a really cool build, I think 2 days ago, but I forgot about it, and all I remember is that I came up with one. Yeah. Hmm. I am interested though, if this upcoming license is actually Friday the 13th. I'm wondering because there's supposed to be two survivors in one killer. I know one of the survivors would definitely be Tommy Jarvis, but who would the other one be? That's what I'm wondering. Because the game's gotten to a point where I can't really think of any more licensed killers that they could add to this game, which would prolong this game's longevity, right? Jason Voorhees is probably the biggest one. After that, maybe Art the Clown, maybe maybe some killers from different games, like a Volatile from Dying Light. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That was interesting. I saw you! Where am I going? Huh? Oh, hello. Oh yeah, I just realized she never even dropped the pallet. Oh boy. My friend, come hit me. Thanks for the hit. Ooh. Why am I so slow? Best survivor strat, W key. Somebody throwing down on my pallets. Boy, if you don't... Ooh, thank you. I have a feeling she's gonna come right back. No? Okay, interesting. Huh. Oh? Thank you. Oh. Huh? Did he silent vault? Slow vault, I mean. playing games with me, boy. Why did you dodge that? Ooh, good fake. Good fake. Ooh. Alley? She just... Yeah, she did. You're not funny! W key warrior. Thank you. Huh? Thank you. Appreciate it. Mang. Okay. I see you. Nah, we ain't going for you, boy. Nothing. Interesting. Just who I wanted. Yes, my pretty gets stuck. Ooh. That's one. I mean, thanks, I guess. Okay. Ah. Man, I feel like that was a long time to have DS still. That's crazy. What am I getting stuck on? Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it, hombre. You see, this is what I mean. I intentionally threw one game, and then I get put against basically noobs. Come on, man. Ooh, thank you. Oops. Not Not sure what that was about. Alright. Oh. Multiple decisives. Okay. Looks like we got a some swift action. Pre-running. Pre-running from Millennia. Okay. You're still over here? Bruh. Of course. Second chance after second chance after second chance. Give a life, bro. How pathetic. Actually. Tryharding this much over a damn Freddy. Oh my goodness. Really? There, you want hit so bad, take one. Yep. Go through every palette in the entire universe. Eat it. Fair and balanced, as always. Fair and balanced, people. Holy crap, I have 100 cakes with her. Well, let's run a full hex build. Hmm. $500 cigarettes. Tear radius. 24. Hmm. $3 meters though? Is that really worth it? 3 meters. Oh. Oh. My friend, we run hex build, yes? Hmm. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Actually, kind of is. Hex. Ooh. Lag? I have a feeling one of these are going to be... Ooh. There we go. Okay. What is that? Oh, that was my quest, isn't it? My friend, I have eyes. Ooh, okay. Maybe this add-on isn't bad. Okay. Interesting. That's actually kind of nice. It said it was like invisible. I don't know how this works. Yep, you go ahead and get your friend. I'll wait. Thank you. Okay. Oh. Oh. You hurt my peelings. Did I just... Yeah, I did. I want a tunnel, but... Ooh. Ooh. They got 2 totems at once. No, they didn't. Never mind. I'm stupid. About to pop 2 gens at once. Which I am not a fan of. What? You gotta move, boy. Nice try. Decisive. No, he was doing a conspicuous action. Conspicuous. Tunneling! Get off my gen. What the heck? My friend, that is weird. Come on, get your friend off the hook. Yes. My friends, you are not going to be having fun. Okay. You do not want to be body blocking. Trust me, you do not want to be body blocking. My friend. You gen rush, I tunnel. Easy as pie. Oh. How many more pallets? How many more? Oh. I better go activate Pentimento if I don't. If I don't, I'm screwed. Okay. That was odd. I'll take it. I'll take it. Ooh. 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 360. Alright, what do we have? We still have Devour? Do we? Yes, we do. Ooh. Spicy. Get these Penty stacks going. Man, I'm surprised the Devour's even still up. Thank you. Ooh, I can Mori. Ooh. Alright, that was kind of dumb. Well, that was pretty stupid on my part, too. Did they haven't even seen this, have they? Bruh. Dweet, my friend. You know what? I'm gonna Mori her. I haven't hooked her a single time this game. My friend, does it feel good? I know she's mad. Oh, I know she's mad. My friend, I love your tears. That's amazing. That has to be one of the best feelings ever. Getting a Devour Hope Mori on someone who hasn't even been hooked. Oh, I love it. Are we just hiding now? It seems like... Did I just hear someone? I thought I just heard someone. Alright, human activity. Hello, Dweet. Nice try. Ooh. Oh, thank you, behavior. Oh my goodness, you can't make this stuff up. Thanks, behavior, I appreciate it. And I have a clear line of sight on both exit gates. My oh my. I must say, Haddonfield actually feels a bit more balanced after the palette density thing, but basically every other map is kapooey. My friend, what are we doing? That has to suck. Getting moried on 0 hooks. Ooh, boy. Watch, Devour Hope's gonna get nerfed next update. You can no longer mori at 5 stacks. Yeah, I would let you go, but you're gonna die anyway. GG. I know that Thalita, oh my goodness, I know she's angry. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I know I would be. Well, maybe not angry, but annoyed, to say the very least. Aww. Oops. This is actually a pretty good combo. But I I think it's safe to say those guys weren't exactly the best of the best. Ooh. Oh. I think I'll play this one more and then swap to Alien. I think this would be pretty good. Let's do Undying with 2 can play. Let's see how that goes. These guys have 2 flashlights. I don't know though, I've always felt like 2 can play is a bit too weak. I mean, it's only, what, 1.5 second blind? Put it up to 2 seconds, that'd probably be good enough to run. At least you could probably have a justified reason to. Oh, yay. We're gonna get obliterated this game. I already know. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Yeah, man. You gotta get running. Nah. I overestimated. And there goes my Devourer. What are you doing, man? Not today, Satan. Save that Penty for later. Ooh, I thought I got someone there. Is that him breathing? I can't tell. Oh, you denied me of my stack. Well, didn't mean to tunnel, but no one else is around and they unhooked you right in front of me. Yeah, I know, it sucks. I know, it sucks to be tunneled, but your teammates just ignore me, so... Yep, back up you go. Maybe have a talk with your teammates. Tell them to get moving. Don't unhook when the killer's right next to you. Oh yeah, that's right, I don't have Devour Hope. They got it out at the very beginning of the game. Ah, come on. You know what? Yeah, you're not smart, boy. I is smarter. You're not gonna outrun this. It's... Or maybe you will, okay? Oops. Got a little trigger happy. What are you doing down here in my gen? The bot knows. Yep, I knew there had to be at least two. At least. Oh, you can... I did not know you could stun while you're in the thing. Okay. Learn something new every day. What? Alright, there we go. Go back. I knew it. I knew they were gonna do that. It's that bot, Daryl. Honestly, good question. I would say if you read Shakespeare and stuff like that, I would say yes. However, if you're not a big Old English person, then you should probably opt for a new King James version. In my opinion, though, the King James Bible is... A lot of people say that... Well, what am I looking for here? A lot of people say that the translations leave out information, and that's not true, because the information is still the same, right? It's just certain words in the Hebrew language mean multiple things. You know, one word can mean many things. So, from my experience, the King James Bible gives the most information while still being understandable, right? If you don't know Hebrew. I hope that helped. I'm not really kind of sweating. You juked me. Juked me. Alright. That said, though, I will say every Bible I've read outside of the King James or New King James, a lot of it is leaving out a lot of important descriptors. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not wrong, right? They still get all of the fundamentals, but they do tend to leave out some of the more minor details, which can lead to a greater understanding. That, and if you don't read like old poetry and stuff, a lot of people say, "Oh, the Bible mentions dragons." Well, they don't literally mean dragons. They mean dinosaurs, because back when the King James Bible was written, there was no word dinosaur. So they called everything they didn't know dragons, right? Same thing with unicorn. I've seen some people literally say they don't believe in Christianity because it mentions unicorns, even though if you took 10 seconds out of your time to do some research, you'd find out they're referring to the South Asian single-horned rhinoceros, which no longer exists. So, yeah. In my opinion, a lot of people just give a lot of half-baked answers for not believing because at the end of the day, they don't want to give something up. That's the ultimate reason why they don't believe. They just would like to lie, make themselves feel a bit better, and why they don't. What is this Laura doing? Man, I am going crazy. Well, we got a pretty strong 3-gen here. Well, I mean, I could be wrong. I know... How do I put this? So, the King James Bible was translated from Greek, and the Greek was translated from Hebrew. And the Hebrew language is so complex. There's, like I said, there are many words that mean a lot more than just one thing, right? So, in all honesty, if you want to get to know Christianity the most, you'd have to read the original Hebrew texts, but, you know, for most people, that's obviously not an option. Like, for example, there's a psalm in the Holy Bible where King David refers to himself as a worm, right? Well, if you read the Hebrew version of that psalm, you'll know that although he does call himself a worm, it's not just any old worm. It's a specific worm that in real life literally sacrifices itself for its children. So, you know, it's kind of another foretelling of Jesus thousands of years before he was even born. So it's just little things like that that help make you realize it was not written by man, because first of all, it was written by multiple men over many thousands of years, and the fact that multiple men over thousands of different years didn't manage to, you know, contradict themselves or anything like that, there's just no way. And there are so many different cross references in it too, you know, it's just, in my opinion, no one man, not even multiple men, could do that. It's just not possible. I will tell you, though, Christianity has a very, very deep rabbit hole. And if you do want to go down that hole, eventually you're going to find a bunch of quote-unquote books that didn't make the cut for some reason. And when you actually look into those... Oh, yeah. But when you actually look into those books that just didn't make the cut, you know, they were almost always proven to be forgeries by using either modern language that didn't exist back then, or they would literally allude to worshiping other lunar gods and sun gods. So if you do end up reading those, you gotta be careful. much lost this. Huh? And at this point, I'm just gonna chase one of them. I'm not going for you. It is, it really is. It's the bot. Actually, kind of glad I'm losing. Can only fake me so many times. All right. The lag. Ugh. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, a lot of Catholics would deny this, but the biggest difference between Catholics and Orthodoxy, if I had to align myself with a specific part of Christianity, it would be Eastern Orthodoxy. But I was thinking about Catholicism until I started looking into it, and Catholics will deny this all day long, 24/7, right? But the truth is, the Catholic faith, they do not worship Jesus as God. They just don't. And I know this from personal experience. Every Catholic I've ever spoken with or talked, met in person, every Catholic I have ever heard stories from, they in general, they believe in this thing called veneration, which is just another word for worshiping, but they venerate saints and they venerate the Mother Mary, which basically means pray to and show respect, which, would be fine if you did it once in a while, but Catholics literally have entire hymns, religious songs, about the Mother Mary and how she must pray for them because they're like not worthy of praying to God himself, which is weird because he literally died, so you would be worthy of that. But anyway, Catholics and Orthodox, the primary difference is the Pope. That's really about it. Catholics worship the Pope and Mary and saints, and the Orthodoxy, they worship Jesus Christ as Lord. Another big difference is most Eastern Orthodox churches, they allow priests and stuff like that, they allow them to get married, right? Whereas most Catholics, they don't believe in that. Another big thing, Catholics believe the Pope has the power of God and the basically the say of God as well, which, yeah, no thanks. I remember hearing some stories from an ex-Catholic who said she used to believe that they actually worshiped God until one day when she was teaching a like Sunday school, she was telling how they venerate the Mother Mary, and she was actually listening to what she was saying, and she said she realized after finishing what she was saying that they were literally worshiping Mary. Mother Mary, by the way, is the mother of Jesus, if you didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's good to acknowledge Mary, because if you do believe in Jesus Christ as God, then obviously you should pay a little respect to the Mother Mary, right? Without her, he wouldn't be here. But at the same time, to pray for her, to pray for you constantly, it doesn't seem right to me. That and a lot of Catholics worry more about what the Pope says than what the actual word itself does. So, you know, that's just my opinion, though. Don't let me, you know, don't let me influence you too hard. I'd rather you do your own research and come to your own conclusion. What the heck? Ooh. It does suck though, because where I live, there are really no Orthodox churches. I think there's one, but I live almost 7, 8 hours away from it. Also, that's another thing too. Orthodoxy, they believe in something called sola scriptura, which is Latin for scripture only. So that way, whenever someone has a religious question, they respond with sola scriptura, which means, look in the word, look for the answer, and you're in the word. But Catholics, they don't believe in that, which is why within the past 10 years or so, they've started to really move away from it. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Bible isn't going to answer every single question you have, like, oh, how old is the earth? Oh, let me go consult the Bible. Oh, who was the 23rd president of the United States? Let me go consult my Bible. You know what I mean?
How you holding up? Okay?
Okay, restore power. How the heck am I gonna restore power with the door closed? Yeah, I never did either. Never did. And honestly, I think a lot of it just stems from the fact that people want to see a Jesus-like figure, you know, someone who ideally is perfect, but as we all know, no one's perfect. To claim otherwise is just goofy. And what's crazy is a lot of Catholics just don't even talk about the history of the Catholic Church itself either. That being, they would manipulate the Bible, and there were so many points in history. You even learn about this in school. There's so many different points in history where the Catholic Church has straight up been like, "Hey, bro, give me some money and you're saved." It's like, that is, you are just a man. I don't care who you believe ordained you or not, but at the end of the day, you are just a regular dude like the rest of us. You do not have the power to be like, "Hey, give me 50 bucks, oh, you're saved." You know, that just doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. But it says in the Bible there are people who are going to be like that. And it's not just Catholics who are like that either. It's Protestant churches too. I mean, I've been to a few Protestant churches and they're just basically glorified party centers. I don't like them. When I go there, I don't feel the Holy Spirit. When I go there, I feel greed and lies. That's really what I feel. Alright, what the heck am I supposed to do here, man? What am I doing? It says to restore power. It says to restore power, but I can't open this. How am I... We gotta be missing something here. Door locked. Yes.
Over there! Get away!
Oh, here we go. I feel like I'm playing Star Wars. Yeah, and another thing, I don't know if it's all Catholic churches, but there's actually a Catholic church I live pretty close to, and you can't even attend that church without signing up. You have to sign up to attend it, which, wow. I mean, that goes against basically everything Jesus did teach, you know. He taught to accept basically everybody, regardless of their problems. And while the Protestant church is good at accepting people, they're not good at pushing back against what they believe as wrong, right? And a lot of people, because of that, the Protestant churches, they end up accepting LGBTQIA plus straight up pedophiles, and they also, you know, basically accept mental illnesses and stuff, which that's a whole nother topic of discussion. I understand. I understand everyone, leans their own way,
Something's been
but
up with the damn android since I got
you
here.
know, even my own my grandmother, well, she's technically not my grandmother anymore, but she is lesbian,
Great.
and even she says being this way is not normal. It's not normal and it never will be normal, right? Like she knows that she is in the minority because it's just not normal. And she doesn't approve of what's going on in schools. They're pushing all this gay stuff on kids and literally brainwashing them. I don't like to talk about it because it's a touchy subject, but it's the truth. And a lot of people don't like the truth. At the end of the day, what you do in the bedroom, I have no problem with, but it needs to stay away from kids. You know? That's why I love America. People can live in harmony while agreeing to disagree. Well, it used to be that way. I'd probably get killed in public saying something like that. It's crazy, man. And people will say you're homophobic or you're sexist or racist saying stuff like that, but when I graduated high school, that stuff was just starting to make its way into schools, and there were kids walking around with literal tails, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home and do online schooling because this is. I feel like I'm, walking around in a circus.
I don't know.
What about the change in alert status?
Damn it, I don't know. I'm trying to contact
Everyone has their own gimmick, right? Some people are gay, some people are greedy, some people are lustful, the list goes on and on. Some people are just angry at everyone and everything. But yeah, it's, if I ever have kids of my own, the last place I'm sending them is public schools. And that's another thing too. These corporations, these schools, they're being funded by people's taxpayer dollars, and they're pushing this mental illness on these kids, right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not a mental illness." It's like, it really is. I mean, you have full-grown adults telling boys they can become girls and then go in girls' locker rooms. No, I have a sister, and I told her if something like that ever happens, no, it's if I was there. I'm not a violent person, but that dude's getting two options: either get out, or I'm shoving my foot so far up your butt you're gonna be kicked out. That's the nicest way possible of saying that, but yeah. There's a reason why women have women-only zones, Same thing with girls. It's crazy that you even have to talk about this to begin with. It's pretty much, you'd think it'd be common sense, but I guess not. I don't talk about it much because it has a tendency to get really political really fast, but yeah. Exactly. But the truth is, that stuff gets so much worse than just pushing it on them. I mean, there are... Man. There are stories of adults who were basically groomed into getting their giblets, taken off. Their teachers, some teachers will literally take kids across state lines to get gender confirmation surgery, and they never have to tell their parents. That's... That's just crazy to me. And people hear you say stuff like this, and they're like, "Oh, you hate gay people." It's like, I don't have a problem with gay people at all. I don't agree with their lifestyle, but that doesn't mean I hate them. I mean, there's a very big difference. I will also say, too, that Orthodoxy, in my opinion, is probably the closest you could get to pure Christianity. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not without their faults, too, but at the end of the day, okay. At the end of the day, it's about about the fruits. Fruits being works. You know, if you see someone who says they're a Christian, but they're actively doing things the Bible condemns, then odds are they're not really... They could be a Christian, but odds are they're not trying very hard to be one. And it's funny, too, because Christianity is one of the only religions where people who aren't even Christian actively hold up standards to Christians, which I think is kind of funny. That reminds me, I actually saw a video a while back of a woman who was talking about why she doesn't believe in Christianity, and her reasoning was, oh, the Bible contradicts itself. And she brought up the reason of slavery. And I'm like, okay, let's hear it. You know, I'm open to discussions like that. And she said, in this book it says not to enslave people, but in the next book it says only enslave those who are not of your own tribe. And I actually read the passage she gave, and when you read it in the full context, it literally tells the Israelites, God's chosen people in the Old Testament, Jewish people, it tells them to buy slaves from neighboring countries, but to treat them as, you know, you would your brother or sister, right? And it goes on to say the reason God wants them to buy slaves is so they can introduce the Bible and spread the word to them that they may become believers, right? But she conveniently left that part out on purpose. I know she did. I mean, don't get me wrong, slavery is bad, but the reason why God even allowed that to begin with is because of the fact that back then, not everybody was equal under the eyes of God. Because back then, God was actively punishing people on earth. Yeah. A lot of people are like, oh, well, if God, you know, did exist, why doesn't he punish bad people? Well, he used to until he realized it did nothing, and then he stopped doing it for the most part. You know? But then when God does do it, they're like, oh, how could an all-loving God do this? It's like, you can't have it both ways, man. And she even brought up the fact, oh, if we're all God's chosen people, then why are slaves allowed? And I had to explain to her, back then, the only chosen people, the only saved people, were the 12 tribes of Israel. And it says that in the Bible, you know? This is stuff, I don't know if she did it intentionally, but I just got angry. I'm like, this is just classic atheism cherry picking, right? You're intentionally leaving full context out of it. And don't get me wrong, slavery is bad, and God does eventually just condemn slavery altogether because he realized that even his chosen people abused it, right? God told them to treat them as equals, but they didn't, right? They didn't on purpose. And some people would use that as an argument. Oh, well, if he knew they would mistreat him, then why'd he allow slavery? He's not all knowing. Yes, he is. And this is where the discussion of free will comes in. Just because God knows you can do something doesn't mean he's going to stop you from doing it, right? For example, let's say you have a 32-inch pizza out on the counter, hot and ready. Now, God has given you the choice to eat that entire pizza or not, and whether or not you do that is up to you. He's not going to force you not to eat it, right? So you could eat the entire thing, or you could just eat, maybe a little or none at all. And God knows the outcome, but he has given you the free will to change that outcome, right? And a lot of people can't seem to grasp that. It's too mind-bending for them, which I understand it can be confusing because a lot of people, they don't understand that God is in fact all-powerful, but he actively limits his own power by allowing us to have a free will. You know what I mean? Because think of it this way. If you were micromanaging someone, let's say you have a wife or a husband, right? Let's say your husband, you make a schedule for him, and if he deviates from that schedule for even 1 minute, you smack him, right? Because he went against your rule, your power. Now, how are you going to do that and then say, oh, my husband loves me? You know what I mean? You plan out your significant other's entire day, and then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, you still love me, right? Now, they might say yes, but the whole point of love is the fact that it's not earned, and it's given. It's a gift, right? So this whole idea that, oh, if we were all mindless drones who all followed God's will, then we would somehow, it just doesn't make sense. We're not computers. We were given free will to do whatever it is we want. And God gave us that ability. That's what separates us from angels, pretty much. You know? If God didn't love us, then he wouldn't give us free will. If God didn't love us, we would just be mindless drones. Because at the end of the day, whether or not you love God is entirely your decision. It's a free gift. That's what love is. I want to know what love is. You know what I mean? And then she went on to say something like, oh, I asked my parents about, the part of the Bible where it talks about slavery, and they didn't give her a straight answer. And I'm like, okay, so you don't believe in Jesus Christ as being the Son of God and God in the flesh because your parents refused to answer a question? Do you see how, petty that sounds? I don't mean to be a jerk, but come on, man. And she was also criticizing other Christians for not reading their Bible. And I criticized her. I'm like, you're going to criticize Christians for not reading their Bible, but then you're just going to read the Bible and not do any research outside of it? You know what I mean? My faith is not ignorant. I've compared and contrasted my faith with real life history, and I have come to the conclusion, along with, all other religions, that Christianity is the one true religion. I could sit here and talk all day about why that is, but, it gets draining after a while. What the heck am I supposed to do, man? Find an alternate route. It's gonna be events around here or something. I don't know if you've been keeping up on the news, but there's a place in Michigan called Dearborn, Michigan, and there are literally hundreds, if not a thousand or so Muslims who are Islamic, which means they believe in Allah and stuff, and they are actively admitting in basically riots that they want to kill anyone and everyone who does not agree that Allah is God, and that they are going to actively hunt down and kill pretty much anyone who disagrees with them. And it's crazy how no officials are doing anything about that. It's, I don't know, man. It's crazy times we live in. Crazy, crazy. I mean, the reason the Crusades even happened was because of the fact that Christians had no other choice. Back then, you know, Christians are taught to basically be peaceful up until the very last second when it's life or death. And if the Crusades didn't happen, Christianity would have been completely wiped off the face of the earth. And they teach this in school too, which is crazy, and yet people try to twist the narrative and say that, oh, those evil Christians, they just harmed those innocent Muslims who were raping and taking the lives away of, you know, young women and children. Yeah, I don't know about that. You know? Don't get me wrong, I'm all for free speech. If someone's Muslim and they want to have a civil conversation with me, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, you have to be very careful about people who actually believe in Islam and stuff, because in their religion, they are literally told to kill anyone who does not believe that Allah is God. And it's pretty dangerous because of that reason. So I do find it crazy though how they come to America and they do all this crazy stuff. It's just insane. They want Sharia law, which literally strips children and women of all of their fundamental rights. No freedom of speech, no freedom of expression. Heck, you can't even speak in public. It's ridiculous. And then there are people online who are actively saying that Islam is somehow more peaceful and better than Christianity. I just don't get it. People say Christianity is sexist because there's a part in the Bible where it says, women, obey your husbands. But what they miss is the literal verse right next after that is telling their husbands to submit to their wives too, and to lean on one another because they need one another. So, I don't know, man. It's just, so many of these arguments against Christianity are just completely cherry-picked and have basically no foundation. It's just ridiculous. I used to debate people on TikTok and stuff about that, and you'd be surprised how many people actually admitted, you know, oh, that's actually a really good point. I never thought about that, you know, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, my goal isn't to make you believe anything, make you do anything, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to deny my faith. That's just, no, it's not happening. You know, I've already had a few people on the channel unsubscribe and say that I'm a hateful, racist bigot just because I believe in Jesus Christ, and, you know, I've just replied, God bless, and that's really all you can do, you know? I don't hate anybody. We live in a culture now where if you disagree with someone on something, you're just automatically a Nazi fascist who hates everybody, and you believe, you know, we should go back to the 1930s. It's like, dude, it's a simple disagreement. I will say, though, before I found Christianity, I used to be an extremely hateful person. Yeah, man. I've talked about it before on stream. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but needless to say, up until I was about, I think, 20, man, I just hated everyone, everything, even myself, man. I hated everything. And it was kind of like a defense mechanism, really. But, you know, once I found Jesus, I literally came to understand that life is way, way too short to be hating not only yourself, but everyone else, too. You know? In even though I do have epilepsy, there are some days where I reflect upon it and think, you know, in some ways, my epilepsy is kind of a blessing because it helps keep me humble and realize that literally every day is precious, every life is precious. I mean, if I didn't take my meds for even one day, I could literally drop dead. So, you know, that's something to think about. Well, I might not drop dead instantly, but if I don't take my meds, I get very, very, very bad headaches that turn into migraines, and I begin to feel lightheaded and then pass out, stuff like that. So, you know, it's fun. Christianity, I am very passionate about, but even though it's one of the subjects I like to talk about most, I try not to talk about it too much because I know a lot of people would see it as me pushing it on them, right? Which is why I would much rather people bring it up to me, right? Like I said, I'm never going to deny my faith, but at the same time, I'm not going to push it either. You know what I mean?
Now, it was a nasty business, and I understand that you want to deal with it as quietly and quickly as possible. But I wanted to make sure you didn't do anything rash. I'm talking about catching the specimen without...
Another cool thing too is there's a book of martyrdom. I think the Catholic Church has this. It could be Orthodox too, but it's literally just an entire list of people who died for believing in Christianity. And it's actually really cool to look at. I remember when I was in school, we heard about 12 men who were, well, unalived, let's just say that, by Islamic extremists in broad daylight. And they recorded this on Reddit. And, yeah, needless to say, I never seen all the video, but I've seen enough. And they went to every man one at a time and they said, all right, here's your chance. Do you believe Allah is God? And they all quietly said no, and not a single scream, nothing. You know, it's heartbreaking to watch that stuff. It really is. Or to even know it has happened. It's disgusting. But it's reality, and reality is disgusting, you know?
They're all dead.
The androids slaughtered them.
Why? Why the fuck?
I don't know, but I think Samuels does.
Samuels. Why?
Wait, send him to access Apollo. I need to find him. Have you seen Taylor and Marlowe?
No.
They're not here. I think they may have got clear. Ricardo, if I go after Samuels, can you run this place? I need eyes and ears.
I'm not fucking staying.
I am telling you right now, though, if you...
Can you man the station and keep me covered?
I've actually been thinking about later in life.
Of course.
Sit tight. Lock
Well-
the fucking doors and don't let anyone in. Look after me.
Don't get me wrong. There are bad eggs in every crowd, right? And there are also good eggs in every crowd, you know? I know there are some, you know, Islamic Muslims who don't believe in the violent side of their religion, right? And they would never do that. But the problem is the whole point of Islam is forcing people to believe. So, you know, if you are in an Islamic country and someone says, "Do you believe in Allah?" and if you say anything other than yes, you know, you're going to get in trouble. And I also know there are Christians who, even right now, abuse the religion for either monetary gain or um, just straight up disgusting, perverted acts of violence, right? So you can't really. I think it's wrong to label everyone in a particular group as evil or stuff like that. But I do think it's fair to say that sometimes the majority of certain groups are, you know, not necessarily good. That's for sure. All right, where am I going? Can I get back down that way? Save the game. Wait, anything on this? Nope. Door's locked. No way to open it, so I guess the only logical thing is to go back out here. Yep. Sup?
What are you doing here?
Doing your mom, doing your mom. Ooh. Another thing, there are, even back in the biblical days with, you know, the Apostle Paul and everything, that's another thing too. The Apostle Paul, he did some very, 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 very bad things in his life. I mean, he was literally tracking down entire groups of Christians and offing them, right? But eventually, in his own words, Christ came to him in broad daylight after he'd been dead for quite a while and literally asked him, Saul, because that's what his name was, he said, Saul, why do you pursue me? And obviously he wasn't pursuing Jesus, right? He was pursuing Christians. But that's the thing. If you are a Christian and you believe in the blood of Jesus, in God's eyes, you are him, right? So Paul, he was so astonished in the Bible, he literally couldn't speak, so he just dropped his sword, and Jesus blessed him and said, you are born anew and you are now no longer Saul but Paul. And there was a point where he was being pursued by the same people he used to work for, and it's funny because they were trying to punish him for, you know, I wouldn't say betraying them, but, you know, going against them. And there's a whole part in the Bible where where they're every time they give him a punishment, he retorts with basically, good, yeah, I deserve that. Do it now. And they're so confused because they're like, is this guy crazy? Why is he saying he wants to, you know, have his head chopped off? Why is he saying he wants to be thrown in prison for the rest of his life? Why is he saying he wants to be filleted alive, you know? Like, they didn't understand that he regretted what he did so much every single day he was living. It was pure agony, you know? I mean, think about it. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the faces of the people he hunted down. That's got to be pretty messed up, man. But that's why he spent the rest of his life repenting, you know? He was writing letters to churches and stuff, and even back then, yeah, pretty much he was telling the courts, "Do it, you know? End me. I want that. Every day is pure agony. Do it." And they were all just kind of, "Huh? What is wrong with this guy?" But, you know, in the end, he ended up being one of the biggest mouthpieces for Christianity during that time. And eventually, because the courts didn't know what to do with him, they just put him in prison for the rest of his life. But he told them straight up, he said, "If you put me in prison, I will convert every single one of your guards there, as well as every prisoner." And sure enough, he did. You know, that's the guards were the ones who got his messages, his letters, to be spread around the world. So, you know, I've heard stories of pastors going to prisons and putting like scripture, like painting it on the walls of the prison, and after a few months after they give people Bibles, you know, inmates, they literally they'll rip them up, flush them down the toilet, stuff like that. But eventually they're gonna get bored of doing that, and they're gonna be like, "You know what? I got nothing better to do. I'm rotting away. May as well read it." And they come to believe, and they get baptized, and you know, it's just crazy. It's not really forcing it either, because I mean, yeah, it's all around you, but at the end of the day, prison is meant to be not only a punishment, but a form of rehabilitation too. So, you know, if you can do both of that, why not? But yeah, like I was saying, even back then, there were different branches of Christianity, because back then most people didn't know how to read or write, and usually the only ones who did were men. So because of that, a lot of teachings of Jesus, they weren't really known that well, because the cost of paper and ink back then was insanely astronomically high, because you know they had literal scribes, people who could read and write. That was their entire job. But you know, people always say, "Oh, if Christianity's true, why was it? You know, why was all of it written 50 years after the fact, 30 to 50 years?" It's because people didn't know how to read or write, man. But the Apostle Paul, who did have all that information, he sent letters to all of these churches correcting them. And in one of the letters to one of these churches, he wrote, um, "Although you are different in your beliefs, none of you are wrong, and you're all a part of the body of Christ." Because at the end of the day, if you believe in Jesus Christ being the Son of God, God in the form of man, then you are saved, and that's ultimately all that matters. Well, that and repentance. Some people don't even believe in repentance, or if they do, they don't really do it that often, which is rough, but hey, that's their decision.
I need you to focus. You're in charge now.
In charge of what? A room full of dead people? This is fucked up.
Focus, Ricardo. If Samuels can talk to Apollo, he can get the androids to stand down. Then this will all be over.
Can I go in here? Yeah, I think I can. Ah. I need like a hacking upgrade. Oh, I had to come this way anyway. Cool. I'm gonna open my bedroom window real quick. Real quick.
Are you here?
There we go. Hmm. One thing I did agree with what that right. One thing I did agree with what that video I saw that woman was talking about.
So how do I get
Actually, I agree with two things. A lot of Christians are ignorant, and because they're ignorant, they can't answer even the most basic questions of their religion, right? And it's kind of sad, right? Because even Jesus said there are four different types of faith, and one of those faiths is the fact that it was built on a rock. No, it was built on. He uses seeds as an example, and in the example he said there are seeds that will fall in bushes, which will later on, while they will sprout, they'll be entangled with vines and end up dying, right? So what that means is someone can come to believe, but they live around people who are a bad influence, and they ultimately forfeit their faith, or they end up not really caring about it anymore. So their faith becomes dead. And then he uses another example of seeds falling on top of rocks, and because of that, they will never sprout, right? And he also said something about faith. Certain seeds will fall in fertile soil, which will sprout and grow. Yeah, right. Which will sprout and grow, but then birds will come by and pluck them out of the ground. Now, those birds can represent a few different things. They can represent people who make an argument that they believe based off of either ignorance, or they somehow did actually prove Christianity not to be true. Or it could mean, they're just straight up ignorant and they don't believe. So, you know, Jesus literally told his followers, Thomas especially. Was it Thomas? I think it was. Yeah. He told him, blessed are you. He said, "You believe, for you have seen. Blessed are those who believe yet have not seen." Some people take that out of context and think he's saying, "Oh, I should just believe without, ever looking deeper into my faith and questioning anything." La 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 la. You know what I mean? But what he's actually saying is, those who have not physically seen him and yet still believe, they're blessed. And the truth is, you can't really believe in something not wholeheartedly if you're not actively, looking for reasons to believe in it, right? It'd be like me saying, I believe Santa Claus is real. Okay, well, can you prove it? Not even in the slightest. Okay, then how can you say you believe? I don't know. Because I'm ignorant. I've never looked for anything to confirm whether or not, Santa Claus is real. So therefore my faith is pretty much void, right? Same thing with Jesus, really. If you can't give even one valid reason as to why you believe, then did you really believe in the first place, Is that? Yeah, what is that? Man, I can't make anything. Anything. Yeah, when I was in school, I used to like debating, and I actually had a college course class. It was, I believe, English literature. I had English literature and English language. I'm pretty sure it was literature, but basically we would read really old books, like, you know, Shakespeare stuff. And then we would have debates and discussions about
Ricardo?
hidden meanings and the true meaning of said books and stuff, right? And I loved having those discussions because it was a safe space where anyone, regardless of what they believed in, could actually, you know, speak their mind without being judged, you know? And sadly, spaces like those don't really exist anymore. I don't, that's why I don't like small talk, right? Because small talk, nothing really ever comes of it, you know? It's just kind of a waste of time. Whereas with debates, you know, you can present new ideas and new ways of thinking in a peaceful, you know, setting. And in debates, there's really no such thing as a stupid thing you can say, right? As long as it's, you know, not dumb, right? Unless you're being intentionally dense or something like that. Yeah, people really are. It's kind of sad, honestly. But I think that comes from poor parenting skills and just being inside all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would consider myself to be an introvert, but as I'm getting older, I'm finding more and more often I want to actually engage with people. Yeah. But my feelings. And there's also this growing idea that words are somehow violence, and if you say something that someone doesn't agree with, you're attacking them, which, goodness gracious. Yeah. I just, man. What am I doing here? I think I'm just turning on power.
The door up here's blown. I can't get near it.
Hmm. It does kind of make me sad though. Like when I don't really talk about this stuff outside of live streams, but every time I have, there's usually one or two people who just don't even watch it and they immediately are like, "Oh, you're such a hateful bigot." It's like, come on, man. How can you go through your entire life
Omega.
just straight up, you know, completely ignoring what some people have to say and not giving anybody else a chance because they don't agree with 100% of what you have to say? I mean, that has to be miserable, surely.
My turn now. What are you doing here? Futile.
Eh. It's like with that Charlie Kirk guy, you know? I didn't agree with everything that dude said all the time, but at the end of the day, no one deserves to die, you know? Even people who think they're literal cats, they don't deserve to die. I don't agree with them, but that doesn't mean they deserve to die, you know? And there are still so many countries around the world that literally have zero free speech laws, you know? And it seems like a lot of this country tends to forget that. That's why there were so many countries all over the world after he died that were out protesting, you know? Even in places like China and South Korea, England, you know? And everyone's like, "Oh, they're just far right Nazi fascists." It's like, dude, he was the one person in America that all of those people actively saw as a beacon of actual freedom of speech. That's why everyone was, you know, protesting him and or not him, but, you know, his death, you know. I mean, in the UK, you can literally be arrested just for thinking something. I saw a while ago there was this woman who was standing outside of an abortion clinic, and she was just silently praying to herself, and she got arrested for it. And it's like, bro, you can't make this stuff up. Okay. Yeah, they really are, man.
To Apollo. Open the tower transit immediately.
Apollo Transit reserved for Sikhs and executives and synthetics only.
Right. Then I'll have to find a way to talk to Apollo directly.
Biocontainment hazard level Omega. All permissions rescinded.
I don't have time for this.
Interesting. Yeah, it's really gotten to that point. I mean, I made a video talking about the fact that there were the media, even in America, tried to downplay it. They're saying, "Oh, it's a few 100,000 far right terrorists," but when you actually watched unbiased reporters on YouTube who were actually there, it wasn't just a few thousand people. It was literally millions of people marching in the streets, you know, calling for free speech. It's insane. I do think things can be dealt with without violence, but there comes a certain point, just like the Crusades, where, you know, you're no longer given an option. I'm not saying it's gotten to that point, but, you know, they're already starting to go after people for just thinking differently, locking them up for literal years, and it's like, my goodness, man. That and the whole digital ID stuff. Discord recently got hacked, and everyone who had their ID on there to prove they were over 18, literally just out on the internet now. You can probably buy it somewhere. It's crazy. Okay, how do I get out of here? Hmm. Aha. Now if I go back, that door should be unlocked. Yes. Oi, Gov! You got a meme to be posting about Nazis? Oh, you got a meme? You got a license to make fun of politicians, mate? It's sad that's not even a joke. Anybody else want to come to life? Get off me, man. Oh, I just killed myself. Oops. Oopsie poopsie. I'm just gonna light these flares. I forget that the pipe bombs in this game are basically impact grenades. Grenada. It is cool though. I'm actually really excited for after. I forget. I think it's December of this year. But Escape from Tarkov 1.0 is coming out. I think that'd be really fun to stream. My voice is starting to get hazy. I'm starting to lose it. Yeah, I have some DBD videos coming out this week, and 2 of which are, well, I wouldn't say they're negative, but let's just say they don't shy away from the truth. The truth of DBD, because it is... It's not exactly a happy, fun time. I feel like one of the easiest fixes for this game right now, DBD in general, is if they just reverted the whole pallet density update. If they got rid of that, then honestly it would make the game playable, at least, as an M1 killer. I've heard there's a new... Apparently there's, I think it's either a new movie or something like that, but apparently the license holders for Friday the 13th, usually when they get the stick out of their butt, they're willing to, you know, use the license and make some money.
The door up here's blown. I can't get near it.
But, they are, man. Like I said earlier, I could probably make a video of just me not even trying to play the game, but just walking around and counting how many pallets I break in one match. It's that ridiculous. And there are people who say, "Oh, but the pallet changes, they're good for new survivors." And to that I reply, yeah, that's true, but how are these new survivors ever going to get better at the game if they have to rely off of using 37 pallets every single match? You know what I mean? It's a self-defeating argument. My friend, didn't make no sense. Ugh. Alright, this time do not throw the pipe bomb at your feet.
I must have access to Apollo. Open the tower transit immediately.
Apollo transit reserved for Sikhs and executives and synthetics only.
Right. Then I'll have to find a way to talk to Apollo directly.
Biocontainment hazard level Omega. All permissions rescinded.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Like I said, so far, I think the only map that I've played which has been affected by the new palette editions, the only one that feels decent is Haddonfield, but that's because that map never really had that many palettes to begin with.
You do not have an appointment.
Oh, look at this, I'm looping them. Can I reload my gun properly, please? Thank you. I heard the new Tron movie was absolutely horrible, so I'm probably not going to go watch it. A lot of people are saying it was a waste of time.
You do not have an appointment.
Maybe one of these things had a key card.
I did actually download Fortnite earlier just to see the new horror stuff they brought in for Halloween. I can't believe that somehow Epic Games actually got a license for Jason Voorhees. That's crazy. I mean, you can't buy him yet, but come the 17th, the license holders for Jason are so picky. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this was kind of like a Pinhead situation where you have a very limited one-time only chance to get him. What did that do? Oh. Yeah, and you see, I was talking about that earlier, but you know, if they're not gonna fix the game or at least make it enjoyable for both sides, because right now playing Killer, it's just not fun. It's just not. But if they revert the palette changes, then I might, you know, buy Jason if when he gets added to the game. It's gonna happen eventually. We all know that, but you know, if he gets added to the game and it's still in the same spot it is right now, they're not getting my money. It's just not happening. Jeez, it's like a boss fight coming up. What's going on here? I do find it awfully strange though how Fortnite somehow managed to get a license for Jason Voorhees before Dead by Daylight, you know, the horror game on the market. Well, it's not really horror as much as it is just slasher at this point. I feel like their DBD is getting very limited on things they can add to the game, and that's why I think Jason is probably going to be added sooner rather than later. Yeah, your job is to just be basically an NPC and just let them pallet stun you and flashlight spam. Yeah, pretty much. In one of the videos that I have coming out next week, I think it's the one on Monday, I actually show an instance from one of my streams, keep in mind, where a group of survivors, I was running an endgame build, which means all of my perks were 3 out of 4 of my perks were completely invalid until the exit gates were powered. And I managed to kill all 4 of them before all generators were done. And they took that so personally. They literally insulted me because of it, but it's just crazy, man. You can't just say GG or like, oh, my teammates were bad, GG, you know? You have to blame me. It's like, dude, I'm the killer. My job is to kill you. If you don't like that, then this may not be the game for you. You know, I did just play a game earlier as lore accurate Freddy, which was literally just me with Predator, but they had a good kick out of it, you know. Which is funny because I've had games before where I run stupid builds like that, if you could even call it a build, and survivors, the moment the game ends, haha, you're trash, noob killer, it's like, do you even see what I'm using? Do you really think I was even trying? Like, come on, man. You know, the same survivors saying, oh, I want to have fun, you know, my fun, my fun. The truth is, you could give them everything in the game and they still wouldn't have fun. Because at the end of the day, they don't even know what they want. They really don't. Their definition of fun is just being a bully. That's really what it is. I mean, if you want to bully someone, there are plenty of games on Steam that involve, you know, bullying like Adolf Hitler and stuff, so go do that. I think there's a game called, like, Beat Up Hitler or something. It's pretty funny.
Great.
What was that, Ripley?
Nothing. Just more shit on the station fucking up. The usual.
You said a swear word. You said a oopsie poopsie. Naughty. Alright, what do I gotta do here? Point of interest. Can I just drop down? No, I'll definitely die from that. Oh. This is the first time in this entire game where something like this has even happened. Ruh-roh. Yeah. And you see, I run into squads like that so frequently, on and off stream, it makes me literally not even want to play. It's just... Most of the time, they don't even make me angry. It's just annoying, right? I don't take their stupid insults personally, but it's like being locked in a room with 30 spoiled toddlers, you know? It's gonna get very irritating eventually. And you're not gonna want to put up with it, you know? So... It still baffles me how there are YouTube channels out there who literally use AI to do absolutely everything on the channel that they do. Maybe other than, you know, clipping some video clips together. And they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and multiple, you know, daily viewers, like thousands of daily viewers. It's like, dude, that just irritates me, right? It's called YouTube, not AI tube. I think YouTube pushed a update recently that says something like, oh, AI channels can't get ad revenue anymore. It's like, okay, but people can still donate money to them through super chats and stuff, so I mean, yeah, they may not make as much money as before, but still. And there are certain channels out there that technically aren't AI channels, but they use AI in their thumbnails, in their video editing, in their... They use AI basically everywhere other than the video itself, right? In... Don't get me wrong, it's one thing to have an AI thumbnail, but even then, you know, it takes 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes max to just go in MS Paint and make a thumbnail. Do you really need AI to do it for you? Like, it just comes off as really lazy. And you gotta remember, too, the AI, they're trained to use other people's stuff to make something for you. And that's another thing, too. They don't make anything. They just take already existing content and regurgitate it, right? I don't feel comfortable with that. I used to use Adobe to make my thumbnails, but after an update, they basically made it so that they reserve the right to literally have an AI scan all of your content that, you know, you make on their platform, and I couldn't deny that or be like, "Hey, I don't agree to that." So I just uninstalled it, and I never pressed I agree to the terms, and yeah, I just started using MS Paint, man. Miss anything? Nope. Save my ammo. I have a feeling I might need it. You know, like I said, I don't ever think I'm gonna be some crazy famous YouTuber, nothing like that, but to see that literal robots can do better than me, it's kind of like a personal goal of mine to beat them. I don't know. I kind of feel like anything AI related should just straight up be banned off the platform. I mean, unless you're actually talking about AI, you know, I really feel like it shouldn't be allowed. You spend about as much time making an AI thumbnail as you do just making a thumbnail yourself, so it's never really clicked with me why people do it to begin with. YouTube actually has a built-in AI system. I don't know if you've seen it, but they have an AI that literally gives you like video ideas and stuff. You know, let me just show you right now. Let me show you. This stuff irritates me. I can't stand it. I'll show you right now. So let's go... Ooh, don't want to do that. That's a spoiler. How do I do this without spoiling? You know what? Yeah. I don't want to show you my videos before they're out yet. Yeah, right here. Inspiration. Right? And they make you thumbnails. And they also give you video. Like, look at this. I mean, look at this, man. This is... I wonder how many YouTubers actually do this stuff, and people don't even know. Like... It's crazy. Yeah. My phone probably heard me talking about Freddy earlier, and they're like, "Oh, YouTube, you know what to do." I remember one time I said I'm allergic to cats, which I am. And then for like 2 months straight, I kid you not, that's not even hyperbole. I kid you not, I got these stupid Chewy ads all over YouTube, dude, all over. And I literally kept saying in my phone, I do not own a cat. Quit giving me these stupid cat ads. And eventually they stopped, but it's just, yeah, it's so stupid. Maybe I could make a video on what Jason Voorhees would look like if he was still human and did 300 push-ups every day and sit-ups. That might be interesting. I can't break this camera, not like the last ones. Wow, it's bulletproof too? Holy moly. Yeah, as someone who finds guns to be very interesting in real life, it bothers me so much that she literally dumps the entire cylinder just to reload one bullet. That bothers me a lot. I actually thought this game was, you know, realistic in that, oh, she's scared, so, you know, in the heat of the moment, she just kind of freaks out and dumps all the ammo, right? No, if you watch the ammo count when you reload the revolver, every round that you dump out just goes right back in your ammo pool. I don't know. That just kind of bothers me.
Apollo security perimeter has been built so that only Sikhs and synthetics can interact with it. Listen to me. I'm going to have to do something rather drastic if I hope to connect with Apollo.
Oh yeah, if you're wondering why there's no alien, it's because during my last stream, this dude betrayed me, locked me in a part of the ship, and then literally blew me off into space, ayo. But the alien was in there, and the alien is basically dead now. At least it should be.
Format chamber. It's the only option. I've had to divert power from the area to allow me to try.
Am I missing something? No, I'm not. Yeah. I made a video of my own talking about the true meaning of strength and, you know, what an actual warrior is, and I used Vinland Saga as a reference. Literally every single video after I made that video on my recommendations page was all about Vinland Saga. It's like, dude, I just made a video talking about how I watched the whole series. I'm not... I don't need to watch, like, recaps and stuff. But, yeah, that's YouTube. That's Google for you, really.
Samuels, that's too dangerous.
Yes, far too dangerous. Wish me luck.
Samuels, don't!
(103F). I wonder what that means.
Warning. Apollo connection initiated. Apollo, infection has been purged. The creature is no longer on board. The station is safe. Request that all hazard containment operations are suspended. Unauthorized connection.
Yep, he's dead.
Ripley, Apollo's rejecting me. We might be in trouble.
Samuels?
Until now. Apollo is trying to stop me from interfacing. Oh no! Amanda! You need to manually disconnect the systems. Please!
Jesus, Samuels, I'll try!
Alright, what am I doing?
You need to do it in the correct order, or the cascade will be fatal for me. I'm accessing seeds and schematics.
Remove the red cable.
The red cable first.
Okay, red first!
Whoa. Okay, this is yellow. Is this the right one? I mean, the cable on the wall is red.
Found it!
Okay, yes.
Ripley, look for an
Or not.
overall plane. There should be a deactivated android next to it.
Oops. Oopsie. Alright, well.
Samuels, that's too dangerous.
Yes, far too dangerous. Wish me luck.
So is it literally... Is it that? It must be. Red, blue, green, black. Well, that's black too. It's black! Okay, this one is red.
Apollo, infection has been purged. The creature is
Ah, okay. Okay, I get it.
request that all hazard containment operations are suspended. Ripley, Apollo's rejecting me. We might be in trouble.
Samuels?
Ugh.
Apollo is trying to stop me from interfacing. Oh no! Amanda!
Ugh.
You need to manually disconnect the system. Please!
Jesus, Samuels, I'll try!
Wait! You need to do it in the correct order.
Red, yep, right here.
I'm accessing Seegson schematics.
Then he said the one with the android next to it.
Okay, red first! Red done!
Next, look for a blue cable. Can you see it?
Yep.
Got it! Blue disconnected. What next?
I'm having trouble accessing the schematics. Apollo is making things difficult.
I need the next one, Samuels! What?
What's happening out there, Ripley?
The emergency lights have come on! I can't make out the colors of the cables! You're gonna have to guide me to them!
The next one is plugged into a wall socket. There was an upturned gurney nearby.
Okay, this one.
Found it!
Just two more, Ripley. Look for an open control panel. There should be a deactivated android next to it.
Boom.
Got it, Samuels!
You know, I feel like
Now, Ripley.
if a bunch of indie devs got together and made video games, they would be fundamentally so much better and more successful than modern AAA gaming companies. The stuff they put out. I was thinking to myself like that earlier, you know? You have indie devs that are putting out games like Hollow Knight and Expedition 33, stuff like that. You know? If those devs got together and made a game, could you imagine how good it'd be?
Apollo transit is open.
I want to loot you.
Into the core.
Give me your loot.
You did that for me?
I wanted Amanda Ripley to have closure.
Why are you talking about me in the third person? You freak! Okay, how do I leave?
Ricardo, if you're
There we
there,
go.
pick up.
I'm here, sorry.
Samuels is gone. He opened Apollo Transit for me. I'm gonna go straight there. I'll get Apollo to lift the lockdown.
So I basically ran all this way just to run all the way back. You know, I hate to say it, but the more I play this game, the more... I wouldn't say I dislike it, but it just feels drawn out. Hello! This is one of those games where the beginning of the game, in my opinion, is much better than the later parts. Okay, gotta go through the little magic butthole here. Hmm. Yeah, you can't see anything with this. Alright, where am I going from here? Point of interest. Is this meant to be just a little one-off room? I think so. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Take private transit. Says the objective is right here, but I don't... Huh? I am confused. Oh, it's the floor below. I believe. I mean, it'd have to be.
Rip, I just found something here. An interview tape. You need to hear it.
Play it, Ricardo.
I'll have to look after this. Thing is, actually, there is one. There's this game called, it's called, like, Infection something, but it's an indie game where you can build a community in a zombie apocalypse, but here's the unique part. You can build it anywhere in the entire world you want. So if you want to build a zombie base in the middle of the Arizona desert, you can do it. You want to build a zombie base around the Eiffel Tower, you can do it. I remember watching people playing that game, and it looked pretty bare bones, but it used to be like $5, then $12.99, and now it's like $25. So that makes me think they're still adding content to the game,
I heard it.
right? That's one of the things I love about Steam. There's so much indie stuff. Wait, are you a good guy? I don't think you're even supposed to be alive. Okay. Well, interesting. There's something all the way back over here. Restore power. I missed a collectible. I gotta go get it. I gotta go all the way back over there. Oh my goodness. You see, this is the one thing I don't like about live streams, because I know just how boring it is to see someone do something like this. You know? That's why I don't like playing games like this, because There's so much backtracking. It is one of the most mind-numbing activities. When I first started playing this game, it was an easy 10 out of 10, but I feel as if the more I play it, the more I want to give it a slightly lower score. Don't get me wrong, the game is beautiful and the AI is spectacular, but when you have to backtrack over and over and over, it's just... You see, he's supposed to be dead too. No, this is a glitch. But when you have to backtrack so much, it's just... It gets very annoying and very repetitive very fast. Oh yeah, when I respawned, I never came in here. When I respawn... Is it here? Here. There we go. Yeah, one thing I do forget to mention is I'm a bit of an achievement nerd. If I find a game I really like, I try my best to get all the achievements in the game. Have you ever played Hellblade? Is that what it's called? Hellblade? Something like that? Yo, what's up, Beans? Good to see you back, man. Ooh. Hellblade is an amazing game. Not only because it's visually stunning, and it's pretty straightforward, but it's one of those games that actually portrays... Would it be called a disability? I feel... there are certain things called disabilities where I don't know if I'd really call them disabilities as much as they are just a hindrance, right? But anyway, the main character in this game has schizophrenia, and... yeah, Hellblade 1 was awesome. Hellblade 2 was just a glorified tech demo. I always miss you, Bean. You're the life of the party around these parts. I haven't seen Nix in a little bit. Was he? Yeah, he was here last stream. Was he here this stream? I think he popped in and said he, like, hi or something, but... Yeah, Hellblade 1, if you can get it on sale, I highly recommend it. That game is amazing. It teaches you, the player, what schizophrenia is like without being preachy, you know? It actually entertains you while following a historical... a work of historical fiction. You might consider me a friend of yours. Well, I do too. I would consider you a friend too, but I do always want to remind people that, you know, the part of me you know online is a very limited part of me, and you know, I think it's fine if you see me as your friend, but you just got to remember, you know, in the end of the day, we don't know each other, like, at all, you know, which is fine. Some of the best friends I've made were literally online. I met a guy on Xbox one day, and me and that dude, I haven't heard from him in years. I hope to God he's okay, but last time I heard from him, he was not doing good. Said his parents kicked him out of the house because he had, like, those boomer parents who think when you're 18... Oh yes, I am an extremely evil person. I like to... I like to have pineapple on pizza. That's all you need to know. But, you know, I try not to be a hypocritical person. I really try not to. But at the end of the day, I am human. You know, I make mistakes. I don't think I'll ever show my face on the internet just because of the fact that I still want that... How do you say this? I know the word. Anonymity? Something like that, you know? What's funny is I actually like pineapple on pizza, but my stomach doesn't, and every time I eat it, I get an extremely bad stomach ache and end up, like, puking. But yeah, Bean, I don't want to like hurt your feelings or anything like that. You know, don't get me wrong. I know there are a lot of people out there. I'm not saying you're one of them, but there are a lot of crazies out there who say, "Oh, he's my friend," you know. I know him,
Got to be shitting.
you know. And then they literally will go crazy and like track you down in real life and stalk you, and you know, that's why I'll never show my face on the internet. Well, that and the whole AI stuff, you know, someone clones my face, makes a video out of me, uses my voice, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm too paranoid. I do view you guys as friends though. I like you guys. You're awesome. What am I supposed to do here? We gotta be missing something. What am I doing here? Okay, it says I can't go through there because I have guns. Oh, there we go. That is one thing I like about this game. It doesn't hold your hand. You know, there's no yellow paint everywhere, right? I guess you're just what I needed. I don't know why that popped in my head. Okay, can I go now or? All right, there we go. I do kind of hate how the alien got murdered like halfway through the game.
Schematics they use for the Sevastopol sales tour should be nearby. See if there's a back door.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, I get it, you know. I try to be a really fair person, you know. I don't care who you are, I don't care where you come from, as long as you're not actively harassing me or people who watch me, then you're welcome, really. And when I say harassment, I mean literally calling people names and slurs. That's what I mean. You know, I don't mean, oh, you disagree with me, violence, you know. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, well, you're gonna be real happy this upcoming week. I already made a few videos talking about that. What am I supposed to be doing here, man? Passcode required. Okay. Where am I gonna get a passcode? It's gotta be somewhere around here. Electric.
Okay.
Oh, there we
let's
go.
see.
4930.
Power conduit that links to the Apollo core. I can use that.
You think you'll fit?
Turn off the electrics, take some deep breaths, squeeze. Easy.
The devs think I'm regarded. Man, I love autocorrect. It's funny. Yeah, right? Like, right here's a perfect example. I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, and the game encouraged me to look around, right? So, you know. I like games that don't hold your hands and actually encourage you to use your brain. The problem is those games typically get low scores from game journalists, though, because, well, like you said, they're regarded. I feel like I'm gonna be blown up or something if I go in there. I've seen some games, like the A Quiet Place, that game. I saw how they had an option for yellow paint and then white paint, as well as no paint, which I think is pretty cool. It gives people an option to play the game so casually to the point where they just turn their brain off. And then there's another option that, you know, guides the player, but not so directly to the point where they feel stupid. And then if players, you know, are just naturally curious and are looking all over, then they won't need that, right? I don't know what I'm doing here. That one. Power down the conduit. Okay. My brother, he, Oh, scary music. What's going on? Oh. Secret? Secret? I was definitely too slow, wasn't I? Can I go back? Oh yeah, I can. Cool. Okay. That's actually really cool, though. You know, like, realistically, in a situation like this, if you did have to perform some type of maintenance, there would be an emergency override switch inside of, you know, the shafts and stuff like that. It's little details like that that I really appreciate. It shows the devs actually, you know, have a brain and care about the player experience. Most games nowadays, if you mess up timing or something, they just have you reload a save, right? Okay, clearly I'm doing something wrong. It's not the timing. I think I have to go... Yeah, I have an objective marker somewhere else, so let's go over there first. You know, I remember hearing about this indie game that was kind of like Stalker. And it's supposed to be like a PvPvE game with randomly generated chunks. And the goal of the game is to like survive or something in a wasteland. Something like that. I forget what that is. I might have to do some research into that. Sounds pretty cool.
The team I requisitioned to acid strip lower habitation just stopped in their tracks. They brought something about a hazard containment order, tried to get into my control
Ricardo,
booth,
conduit's
and that
offline
just
for now.
marched off. I know I always complain about those
Looks like you can get to
so-called
the access to
bastards,
the
but
turbine
now I've got proof they're
turbine-
Shut off the
running
turbine
down.
ventilation. That's... Yep, back down there. Alright.
Full speed.
boss speding
There'll be an
tomorrow,
emergency
and
shut-off nearby. It won't
It's
stay
in
on forever.
here.
You have to get inside quickly.
well, it's coming from me.
But yeah, like I was saying about my brother. So, most of you guys know I recently bought Black Ops 3. What is that? Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles Edition. And the reason why is because I never played it growing up, right? And I always wanted to. And one of my brothers, he's played a little bit of it. You know, he gets the basics, but my other brother, my younger brother, well, actually I have two younger brothers, but, well, three. But anyway, he didn't really know much about the game. I mean, when we played together, he literally asked me, okay, so at what round does the game, like, do we beat the game? And I said, that's the neat part, you don't. He's like, you don't beat the
It's
game.
gonna be tight.
And I'm like, no, you don't. You know? That's why in one of the songs, you know, for the game, it, you know, 115, she literally sings about how, you know, there's no point in trying to survive because you're gonna die anyway. But
Samuel sacrificed
it
himself
does,
so I
but he ended up enjoying it because he realized that, oh, I'm supposed to die. He's like, okay, yeah, that's actually kind of cool, you know? Yeah, whenever I think of game journalists, I think of the the IGN reviewer who reviewed Spider-Man Miles Morales. The way he jumps off of the back of the building is filled with the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It's like that's not racist, but it's like it's like borderline racist. It's like who cares? Like it's such a weird thing to point out. It's so goofy.
find another way to make contact. Something's up with my earpiece.
Have you seen that people are trying to say one of the Trickster's newest skins is blackface, even though he's literally just there's nothing black about it. His skin is just made out of bronze, and people are trying to say it's blackface. It's like, come on, man. I'm sure there are some stupid racists out there who will actually try to make it some kind of blackface, but come on. Some people just want to be victims so bad. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's in this update, but I know I saw a video on it earlier. There's a new bronze Trickster skin, and certain people on Twitter are trying to say that it's like blackface. All because his face looks slightly brown due to it being bronze. It's really stupid. Oh, I can't shock them! They're wearing anti-shock material. Duh, I should have thought about that. We're literally in a room. That doesn't work either. Take this! Oh, that's funny. Whoa! Holy crap, that scared me. I thought there was only one. Bro. I'm stun locked. I'm stun locked. Wait, don't I have Molotovs? No, I don't. Well, yes, I do. What? Oh, that is terrifying.
I must leave him with the core. Can't do anything without power.
Are you gonna die or what? I personally think the skin looks really cool, but it seems like most people online were basically just telling this dude to shut up and quit being a like professional victim. You know, sometimes I feel like the people who are trying to prevent racism are actually the racists, but that's just me. I mean, you gotta go so far to convince someone that that's racist. It's ridiculous. You're actively seeking racism just to be like, oh, guys, look, I'm not racist. Yeah, let's come here. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I'll show you. I'm having a brain fart. Oh, yeah. And Quiet Kills, yeah, he's the one who made the video on it. He actually made a really good point. He said, if we're gonna dig this deep for, yo, Nix, what's up, man? But Quiet Kills, he's like, if we're gonna dig this deep to say that something is racist, he's like, then how are we gonna let how are we gonna let Nemesis play on Coldwind Farm when he literally, you know, has a whip? You know what I mean? Relooted, yeah. That game, I believe it has like, what, 0 players right now? That game is just a joke. Well, I'm glad you're taking a break, man. Saturday, sit back and relax, baby. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video yet, I'll throw a link to it in the chat. Hang on. I actually encourage you to watch it because he makes a lot of good points. There you go. It is funny. It is funny though that he brought that up because I never would have thought of that. He's like, oh, if we care so much about racism, then why is Nemesis allowed to play on Coldwind Farm with African characters? See, like African American characters, and I'm like, dude, you're right. I've never even thought of that. You're literally whipping African American survivors on a farm. It's so stupid. Like it just goes to show how far like some of these people actually stretch things. It's so crazy, man. Come here, I gotta loop you. Come on, Clanker. I can't stun these guys because they have suits, special suits. That sucks. I hope everything goes well, man. God bless. But as always, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Oh! I appreciate it! Get off me! Quit touching my no-no square! I gotta loop him. Ooh. Alright, what am I doing?
If I power these up, one of them should give me access to Apollo security bands.
Is it like 007? Is Eddie Brock doing blackface too? Good question. I mean, the same people who are trying to be like, ooh, blackface, they literally tried to cancel a little boy at a Chiefs game for wearing, you know, Indian face paint. They tried saying he was doing blackface because half of his face was red and the other half was black. But what's funny is his parents actually came out and said they are part Native American, so it's just funny, man. Use access tuner on Dome terminal to gain access. Alright, I gotta run back. Low power. This is creepy. Holy crap, how am I supposed to do this? can't do that. That's way too fast. It's gotta be something else. Why is it beeping like it's gonna blow up? Okay, I almost had a heart attack there. Find a way to reduce Apollo's security capabilities. Does that have something to do with this? Nope. Oh, maybe? Yes. Do the other one. Quiet kills, man. That dude always gives me a good laugh. What the heck? What am I doing? I have no idea what that did. I'm just doing stuff. Wait, have I run out of flashlight batteries? I think I did. Ruh-roh. What would you guys think about the Scooby Gang coming to DBD? That'd be pretty crazy. I want my guns back. Ooh. Crawl inside like a little freak. Ooh, I am. Oh, this is like Mother from the original Alien ship in the first film.
What the hell? Two days after we left? You're kidding me. Bitches. It isn't on the damn station.
This is basically the plot of the first Alien movie. Kind of. Beneath core. Ooh.
Wayland Yutani, building better worlds.
I'm empty. Could you imagine the acoustics in this room? 13th mission. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 left. Should I... Are there 2 left? Something like that. Should I beat the game tonight, or should I save it for next stream? That is the question.
Mainland Utani are in control of Apollo now. It's refusing to lift the lockdown. It says there's something up with the reactor.
You're from the company. Tell it you don't give a shit and to do what you say.
Sorry, Ricardo, that I'm small fry. Me, Samuels, Taylor, we all are. Guess if we amounted to anything, Apollo wouldn't be so ready to see us killed.
Yeah, I'm not really tired. I just want to know if you guys are tired of the game, right? I'm starting to lose my voice, but it's nothing some water couldn't fix. Agua, you gotta stay hydrated, man. ¿Dónde está el agua? Where is the water in Spanish?
Our ship's oversold. I'll report the incident to Waits and the marshals.
I will say it is super surreal to... My last live stream after it ended, 30 views. It's like, holy crap. I know there are some people who prefer to watch my VODs, which I guess makes sense, you know? Back when I used to stream on Twitch, people wouldn't watch my VODs, which I guess makes sense, right? Because I wasn't really talking to anyone or anything, because I didn't have an audience, but I guess it makes sense now, actually, come to think of it. Hi, buddy. I'm beating you. It is surreal though sometimes to look up in the top right corner and see you got like 5 to 10 viewers at once. It's crazy. To some people that might not be a lot, but to me it's like, holy crap. I keep getting ammo, but I don't have any of my weapons. Can I like grab them somewhere? I'll probably just finish it today, and then before I end stream, I'll play some Black Ops Zombies. I love Black Ops Zombies, man. I could literally play that all day long. It's not really one of those games where you could just turn your brain off, but it is one of those games where you're having so much fun, you don't even really you don't really have to like care about anything, right? Okay, where am I going? There's a butthole right here. Where does that go? It goes back that way. Can I use an EMP mine right here to, Ooh, I can! Okay. Sweet. You see? This is, again, this is one of those games that promotes you using your brain, right? It says EMP, and, like, like it says, it is actually an EMP. It makes me wonder if there were, like, turrets in this game. I think there are, actually. I just haven't seen many. If you could throw an EMP at it and it would actually... you know, stun it. Alright, I got the ion torch, so now I should be able to access basically everywhere. Come on. How thick is that? Man, that can't weigh more than like 10 pounds. You gotta start working out. Amanda? It's over here. Secrets. Secret things. Secret places. Ooh. Ooh. I actually have a reason to use my flares now that I don't have any flashlight batteries. You ain't getting no turn, boy. Yes, another pipe bomb. This looks like something we'd escape with. Power level too low. Another flare. Anything under there? Nope. I need to restore power to the generator. That's ironic. Can't you see? That's where it came from. Bruh. Ooh. I need to get some kind of like hack upgrade. There we go. Okay. Just walking on thin air there for a second. Flare got snuffed out, stuck through the wall. Alright, where am I going? Holy crap, I can do this so much faster now. These take forever. I just want my guns back. That's how you know I'm American. That's all I'm thinking about. Guns, give me my guns. I want my guns. Oh no. Yeah, sometimes, a little bit. I would say Minecraft is probably where I experience that the most. Oh, that's right. These won't work on him because he's got the suit. Come on, man. Ooh, a gun. Get out of my way. I'm stun locked. I see a gun. Give me the gun. He just said, really? I'm getting beat up. Bro. What is this gun? Oh, you have to charge it. Well. Get away from me, douchebag. Ooh. Okay. That could have gone better, but we're alive. I know, I'm just getting... This is like... this is like 1950s wife simulator. Just getting thrown around and punched and beaten. My goodness. I was like, okay, there's got to be some weapon here because, you know, there's no way they just throw me up against them and be like, yep, good luck. Uh, 6832. But yeah, I remember when I was a kid on the Xbox 360, me and my brothers, we played this Minecraft world, and I remember I made a 2-story house. The whole first floor was filled with like 200 dogs and a crafting table, a furnace, and I think like some other stuff. I'm pretty sure this was before anvils were even in the game, but the second floor had one room and it was filled to the brim with cakes. It was literally just a room full of cake. You could walk in there and on your left, on your right, and in front of you, it was just cake everywhere. The only other thing I remember about that world is I built a brick bridge, and I felt very accomplished. That's all I remember. That game was so simple but so fun. May as well use another one.
Ricardo, you ever been to the reactor?
Never took that at all.
I did some training in one.
Let me look up real quick how long this game is. I know there are a certain amount of missions, but if I am close to beating it, I'll just beat it tonight. Hey, yo. Okay, yeah, I'm not even close to beating this. I'll probably get to the next save point and then play some zombies for a little bit. I thought, oh, game's almost over. I still have like 8 more missions to go.
I hid. When I looked up, it wasn't there. I think it went into the floor. Maybe the ceiling. Sevastopol.
Wait, is there another alien on the ship?
Anywhere. This must be what the marshals have been chasing. This shouldn't have been kept from me.
Ooh, my shotgun. Oh, I got all my guns back. Sweet. Sick. God Hand. I think I've heard of it. Maybe. I've never played it, but I think I've heard of it. That name sounds familiar, kind of. What's it about? My friend, indulge me. PS2 game? Oh. Now that I have my guns back, why would I ever use this bolt gun? Maybe because it's quiet? I don't know. Wait, am I?
I'm at the top of the reactor core, Ricardo.
See anything yet?
Nothing. Got some
Like
androids,
rain? What
core
is that?
control systems, business as usual. I'm gonna have to explore the lower level.
I'll look into it. If I can get it on Steam, I will. If not, I might have to look into alternate sources. Let's just say that. Yeah, let's just go with that. Shinji Mikami? You see, I'm wondering, if I play games like Black Ops 3, obviously there are certain Easter eggs in that game I can't do because it plays copyrighted music, but there are some Easter eggs where it's only instrumental, so I'm wondering if I could actually... I don't know. Like, for instance, there's a musical Easter egg on... I don't know if you heard that. Cop car just flew by, but... There's an Easter egg on Shino Numa where you can play the instrumental version of The One. I wonder if that would actually get me copyright struck or not. I don't know, though, because it is in the game, right? So, I don't know. I remember one time I uploaded a clip to YouTube of Jedi... It was Star Wars Jedi Survivor or something like that. and someone copyright struck my channel for using a piece of music that was in the game, but was also at the end of the third, the third prequel film. And they were like, "Oh, you can keep the video up, but any money you make off of it, it's ours." I'm like, man, screw you. Miss me with that condescending attitude. How stupid.
Oh no. God, no.
Just realized I don't have a flamethrower. That's the one weapon I don't have. Oh, never mind. It's speak of the devil. It's right here. Alright, well.
Ricardo, they're all here. Everyone that's missing. Everyone. They're trapped in some kind of nest. There are eggs. It's like a farm.
Shit. Just get out of there. Now.
I'll have to restore power to the platform from the conduits down here.
Can I, like, cut them down, or... I hear a save point. Alright. Quit! You know what, let me look at that game you mentioned, actually. God Hand, huh? Let me see if it's on here. $3D beat 'em up game. Well, that's definitely not it. That game came out in 2019. It may not be on Steam. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Doubt it'd be on something like Epic Games.